Hey folks, and welcome to Cheung Chau Island. Today we're here to test out two brand new lenses from Sigma. The first is a 24 f1.4. This is nice and compact. There's a couple of competitors on the market, so I'll be interested to see how this does. It is an art series lens, nice and compact, certainly more compact than the 20mm f1.4. Now they were the only ones making a 21.4 in DSLR world. Now they're the first to do it in mirrorless. It's an 82mm front filter thread. It's quite huge. It looks bigger here because it's on the Sigma FPL camera, which is tiny. But both of these lenses are art lenses. They both feature 11 rounded aperture blades, and they say that they're going to have superior optics. The 24mm will focus down to 25 centimeters. It's weighing in at 520 grams, and it has 17 elements in 14 groups. The 20mm is slightly more complex, 17 elements in 15 groups, significantly heavier at 635 grams. It'll focus down to 23 centimeters, and as I said, it's got an 82mm front filter thread. Now, I guess both of these lenses are kind of aimed at astrophotographers, more so the 20mm, but they have a couple of cool features in common. They will let you de-click the aperture, nice. They have a lock so you can adjust or not adjust the aperture via the lens rather than via the body. And very cool, they both have a manual focus lock. If you're shooting astro, you dial it in at f1.4 exactly where you want the focus, just shy of infinity. Everything's good. The last thing you want is to then accidentally bump the focus sometime over the next hours of shooting. So you can just lock that button. The dial still turns, but it won't let it actually affect your focus. So I don't know I'll actually get a chance to do astro here. It doesn't get that dark in Hong Kong, but I'll see what I can do. We'll definitely go do some low light shooting and just wander around, see what we can get with these guys. There's a pretty cool temple nearby. Let's start out there. Now, subscribers to the channel might note a lot of this seems familiar. I was actually testing out the Fuji at the same time, so in some of these shots you'll see me shooting with different cameras. We essentially just strolled around for the day and I grabbed some different test shots with the two different lenses as we visited different temples, met some local cats both on the street and in some shops, and basically just sweated like crazy because it was an incredibly hot day. Here's a selection of different JPEGs. You can download the original DNGs for yourself. There's a link in the description below. Next up, let's go on location and shoot some portraits and do a little bit of pixel peeping. Man, there are so many cool places to shoot here. I think everyone who owns a camera in Hong Kong has been here. This is around the Space Museum near the Avenue of Stars in TST, Hong Kong. I've been here several times, but I've never actually come to shoot. I think it'll be perfect for the 20 and 24mm. Lots of long leading lines to fill up the frame and cool little pools of light to put our subject Honey, who should be here any minute. Quick word from this video's sponsor, folks. Secure your internet experience today with NordVPN. Go to nordvpn.com/Matt Granger and you can get their best 2-year deal with a bonus month free. I'm about to head out on a trip. Whenever I'm on unsecured Wi-Fi, I secure all of my devices. It's really fast, so I'm able to back up my files each day, and it's great for unlocking regional video content. Like if you want to watch Top Gear on the BBC, you can just show the service that you're in the UK and it'll give you access. So check it out, nordvpn.com/Matt Granger. There's a link in the description below. I've been a paying customer for years. The service works great. Can I have this foot here? Oh. See? Hello. And then looking up this way. So, but once you're in your pose, yeah? This place is a little Escher-like with all of the staircases, but I think it can be a good opportunity. The sun's almost straight overhead, so me being low, her being up the stairs, I can probably get the sun right in the shot, test out the 20mm for flare. So look, overall I think both lenses seem to be performing really well. I don't know that this was the best body to test them on. It's not the most ergonomic in FPL, it's a production camera, it's modular. Using it on something like an SL from Leica or an S1 from Panasonic that has a good grip, then I don't think these are going to feel too big and heavy at all. Let's just take a moment to look at the price, weight and size relative to their nearest competitors, noting there aren't direct competitors for both of them. The 20mm looks like it's going to come in at about $1,000 US. Sony and Nikon both have 1.8 versions. The Sony is 900, the Nikon is 1,050, and the old Sigma DSLR version was $900. This guy is 630 grams versus the Sony's 1x8 is 370 grams. So given that it's a 1.4, I think that extra price is understandable. And to be fair, Sony's recent lenses are just incredibly light, and Sigma lenses have always been kind of heavy, so it just is what it is. The 24mm on the other hand is going to be about 7,000 Hong Kong dollars, so what's that, like 900 US roughly, I think. It's noticeably more compact. If you compare that to the Sony, they have the exact same model, it's $1,400. This one's 520 grams and the Sony's about 80 grams less. Now, they are bigger, they are heavier, and it's not perfectly suited to this body, but it's cool to see that they both will take rear filters, like a slide filter, which you don't see too often, and even the 20mm, which is quite a bulbous front element, does have traditional screw-on filters available as well. So for astro, landscape, architecture guys, having those options is definitely a good thing. Okay folks, time for a conclusion. I think they're both excellent options for lenses. The size, weight and price I think is all reasonable given the great optical performance you're getting from them. The 20mm in particular does have a fair bit of vignetting, shooting wide open, but to be honest you would kind of expect that. The camera was delivered having all of the aberration stuff automatically trying to be corrected, but it, straight out of camera, there is that in the files, but you can reasonably easily clean that up. Thank you to Sigma Hong Kong for loaning me these early so I could test them out and have this video to you just as they're being announced. I really appreciate that. I have to say, I think testing these on the FPL made things complicated. So first of all, I don't know if any of my audience is shooting with an FP or an FPL. Leave me a comment if you are. But it's difficult. Whenever you're testing a camera, you are in a way testing the lens as well, because the ultimate performance and image quality and focus speed and all of that depends on the interface between the two. And testing a lens is absolutely the same. So I really can't comment on the accuracy, speed, and basically the autofocus of the lenses, because I don't think the body is a particularly good performer. It's slow, it was buggy to work with, I had to turn the camera on and off repeatedly to get setting changes to take effect. But mostly the autofocus, it was just unreliable. Shots that I thought were in focus, that I had confirmation, came back and they had missed her. When I would have eye autofocus on and she'd do a jump, it would start on her, then go to the background and most of the shots were out. Little things like that. So I would say testing it on a different body would have been ideal for me, but that leads to the other point. They are only making these lenses in L mount and Sony E mount. If you're in one of those two systems, great for you, but it's disappointing to see that there's no Nikon or Canon mirrorless mounts in there, and that is something that Sigma were offering on the DSLR equivalent. So I was kind of disappointed to see that, because I personally would love to have something like a 24-1.4 in my kit for Nikon. I have put a bunch of sample files over for free at learn.macgranger.com. I'll have a link below where you can download those. The last thing I guess to talk about then is which of these is best suited to your needs, and to be honest, I can't answer that for you. 20 to 24 doesn't sound like much, but it's actually like 25% difference in terms of how wide your frame is. What I always recommend to people when they're considering buying a prime lens is go back and take a look at previous shoots you've done of the same genre. Say you're considering the 24 for astro, architecture, or landscape. Go to a recent landscape shoot, for example, and just see, do you tend to shoot around 23, 24, 25, or around 19, 20, 21? And that will probably tell you which of these is going to best suit your needs. I don't know how many people will still be watching at this point in the video. Let's play a little game. If you are still watching, leave me a comment, something to do with blue potatoes, why you love them, your favorite variety, the best way to cook them, but with no context, and it should confuse the people who didn't make it to the end. Let me know any questions you have, check out the sample files below, and I'll see you soon.